All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Welcome to another episode of Tuesday night's main event. I'm of course your host Don P. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode. I believe this is what episode 6, 7, somewhere in there. Like we doing good here. Um, over at Tuesday night's main event, man. Again, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Um, I'm enjoying doing this. I really am. We just go get right into it, man, because y'all know the motto here. We're here for a good time and not a long time. So let's just get right to it, man. Let's start with what took place this past Friday. SmackDown, Friday Night SmackDown returns to the USA Network for the first time in 5 years. Yes, 5 years since they moved over to Fox or moved on, and they moved on from Fox, and now they're back on USA. Um, I'm digging the new logo. I'm digging the new theme song. I am. Shout out to Meg Thee Stallion for that song. It's a slap. And when I first saw that, I was like, okay, I see what they're doing here. And that gives more thoughts on what I feel or how I feel about Meg Thee Stallion and what her team is doing with her. Put more eyes and more ears on her. It won't surprise me if she pops up on WWE TV at some point because they are doing more stuff like that. They're doing more pop culture things. You're starting to see them at more events. You see them. You saw Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio at the UFC event this past weekend. So just get used to seeing stuff like that. I really love that new logo. People want them to bring the fist back. But you know what? If it's not the original fist, as if it's not this one here, what's the point? Because now they're doing all the LED stuff and the LED board, which I want an LED fist. I mean, it may or may not look good. They may or may not be thinking about something like that. I did hear a lot of people saying that they were hoping and wishing that the fist came back. But we'll see what they do in the upcoming weeks and the upcoming months on USA. Then Triple H proceeds to come out. Anytime you hear the guitar riff in Lemmy, you know Trips is coming out. He's not gonna spit the water, which is something that I would like to see him do when he comes out and do that. But he's not there. He's there as the man, as the chief content creator officer, the man. So we're not going to see that, and we shouldn't bellyache about it. I'm just bringing it up because Triple H spits water. It's damn cool. But he kicked it off with his promo saying it seems like just yesterday that I was main eventing this thing with The Rock, and now here we are 25 years later. We're back on USA. You know, he went through his whole little spiel. Shout out to Triple H, man. Thank you, Triple H, for giving us this and giving us, like, it's exciting to be a fan of wrestling, sports entertainment, whatever y'all want to call it. Then we open up with Solo Sikoa and Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship, which it is now. The Universal title has been discontinued. It is now the undisputed WWE Championship, which is cool. This match was a banger. Everyone, I see a lot of comments online. I try not to read comments online because everybody is negative online. It seems like everybody has a complaint. People have been complaining about Solo Sikoa. I have no problems with Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa, he is miles ahead of where he was when he first started. I think he's doing a damn good job. I understand this whole thing is like, all right, they've been told y'all that I was the heir apparent, that I was the next tribal chief. I mean, my brother Jay, I know people say Jay was, but and rightfully so. Jay is outside of Cody was the only other person to pin Roman in that long 4-year run that he had. And the last one was Baron Corbin after that, which is kind of hilarious. But Roman loses. Roman leaves after Mania. The guys come and Solo been doing some calling. Solo or whoever Solo is answering to. Remember, long-term storytelling people, when Solo first came, Roman said the elders sent him so he could be taking orders from the elders. Okay, Roman's down. You're up. It's your turn. And he took that seriously, and it started off rocky, but it's better. He's added the Tongan brothers, Tonga, Tama, and Tonga Loa. And he's brought Jacob Fatu into the fold, which a lot of people feel like Jacob Fatu is a way bigger star than him. I tend to agree that Jacob could be. I can make an argument for Tama Tonga to be that. Those of you who watch wrestling and know his New Japan work and know how great he is and know how legit of a badass he is and know who his daddy is. Again, who could be one of the elders? Who knows? Who are the elders? Is it Haku, Rikishi, The Rock? The Tonga Kid? Who are the elders? Maybe we'll get an answer to that. Maybe we won't get an answer to that. But what a banger of a match. Cody continues to put on. Like his feuds, a lot of his feuds have been but the matches have been on point. The AJ feud I liked. I appreciate it. The thing with Solo wants that title. The Kevin Owens thing was cool. Who else did he go against? I'm trying to think. Who else did he face? I can't think of who he faced in between that time. Since Mania. Who he's gone against. But he's won and he's come out on top and he's looked good doing it. And after the match, here comes the rest of the new bloodline. Here comes the Tongans. Here comes Jacob. And here comes Roman. And the fight breaks out, and we get this again. Storytelling, long-term storytelling. And I'm not mad at this. We get this face-off with Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu after he's cleared out Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. Here comes Jacob. Neanderthal. I love Jacob Fatu, though. I do. More on that in a second. But we think we're going to get this showdown. Solo pulls him out of the ring. The Tongans jump up to attack again, and by that time, Cody comes to after his beatdown. And Cody and Roman give this look to each other. Like, I ain't forgot, but yeah. So, and at that moment, I said, we're going to get a tag match at some point. Bad Blood. Those two against Solo and Jacob, which they did eventually announce, and it did lead to it. They both, Nick Aldis, shout out to Nick Aldis, who runs SmackDown with an iron fist. I love it. Love the way he rules it. Everybody's in their locker rooms. I'm going to go talk to them. And, he came out and he basically told Cody, like, Solo proposed him and Jacob go against you and Roman. Cody's like, I'm done with them. I don't want anything else to do with them. My work with the bloodline is done. I beat them. All I do is beat them. I just keep beating them. Roman's like, so, but I'll get to that at the end. I'll get to that in a minute. So they announced that tag match, which now we have 4 matches announced for Bad Blood. I'll get to Bad Blood in a second. Can we wrap up Piper, Chelsea, and Michin? I mean, that match was 2 minutes. I get like something ran long somewhere, and don't really care about it. Don't care about any of these 3. They're doing nothing to separate themselves or put themselves in a title showdown. Piper had her title shot. She fumbled it. People want to like Chelsea Green, but she just keeps going around doing things. I don't see her as a legit contender yet. And Michin, as good as she is in the ring, doesn't win enough to get a title shot. I know people say, well, what about Solo? What about Solo? I mean, Solo he took over the top storyline and the top faction in WWE and beat people up in the process. So there's that. Randy Orton returned as the tag team partner, as the mystery partner for Kevin Owens going against A-Town Down Under. I do enjoy this, but it's time to wrap this up too. I think this will be wrapping up soon, like with them. Like it keeps KO on TV. It keeps him, like it keeps his spirits up. It keeps him doing. I like him working with Randy. I'm looking for one of them to turn on each other, or just one of them turn, and it just blows into some whole thing. We may get KO and Randy at the Rumble or at WrestleMania 41 in Vegas next year. We could. I like the Ricky thing. Like he comes out, Kevin Owens is like, all right, my tag team partner didn't make it. He got stuck in traffic. His bus caught a flat or something he said. And out comes this dude who looks like Adam Pearce. Honestly, that's what he looked like. He looked like Adam Pearce. He's like, oh, Ricky is going to be my tag team partner. I don't really need him, but they said I need a tag team partner, so I'm going to beat y'all. And then they stop, wait. Your partner's here. And out comes Randy Orton. They have this match, and boom, Randy and KO pick up the win. I love that bit, though. This Nia Jax, Tiffy thing got to wrap up, too. SmackDown need to wrap up some of their stuff. And I get it. She's the champion. Nia needs opponents. I know they're biding time. Tiffy just won the Money in the Bank. Bayley is like, she should get a rematch because she was the champion. Naomi is popped up into the fold. Bianca and Jade are off winning the tag team titles. They're doing their own thing. There's no other women. I just read something that Charlotte probably won't be back this year. So that kind of sucks. Maybe they'll bring her back for the Rumble. Maybe her and Tiffy's showdown to be at WrestleMania 41. But Nia needs opponents. She needs legit opponents for her title reign to mean something, unless she squashes everybody and gets into this a match with Bayley and Tiffy cashes in on her. Something like that. Carmelo Hayes and Andrade had another one, the 5th of the best. They made it into a best of 5, which I'm glad they kind of did, because they didn't say it, but any wrestling fan, if you're watching and you've been watching SmackDown week in, week out, you can see, all right, this is a best of. Like Andrade won the first 2. Melo came back and won, and then he won another one. So now they're 2-2. And then you put LA Knight in it. It's like, I see what we're doing. They're fighting for something. So Andrade picks up the win. He's going to take on LA Knight at some point for the U.S. Championship. I'm going to talk about the title pictures soon. Give me a minute. But a banger match. It was probably the best match of the night. Carmelo and Andrade. Carmelo is good, man. That dude is good. I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to get him good on the solo tip, but kind of like breaking him and Trick up, kind of. I'm not gonna say screwed him, but it kind of, you know. But he was ready to come up. Trick wasn't quite ready to come up. I still don't think Trick is quite ready to come up. But I also feel like Trick Williams is going to be in the Royal Rumble in January. At least he should be. You get that good pop, whoop that Trick, come on. And it's always somebody from NXT that is in the Rumble. It should be a few of those guys. I think Trick belongs there. I also think Obafemi should get a spot in the Royal Rumble and set up his possible main roster call up in the near future. I think an NXT championship reign is on the horizon for Obafemi, because I think that Trick is not going to beat Ethan, at least in my book. He's not. And that's going to lead to Oba versus Ethan. Oba gets it. Now, how do they take the North American title off of him? I don't know. Maybe they do him like they did Keith Lee. Let him win both titles. Let it be champion versus champion. Ooh, excuse me, y'all. Let it be champ versus champ. And then boom. We'll see. We end SmackDown with Roman cutting his promo. He came out with the contract like, I don't need Cody. I don't really care for Cody. Here we are, the two biggest baby faces in the company, Roman and Cody. They have a common enemy right now, which is the bloodline. Cody wants to be done with them so he can move on. And I believe after Bad Blood, he will be moved on from the Tongans and Solo and the bloodline. Because there's a final boss waiting in the wings. There's also Roman Reigns, who's back. And eventually Roman Reigns is going to get his title shot. It's inevitable. Will they go Roman Cody for the third straight year at Mania 41? Will they do it at Royal Rumble? Will it be Rock? Where does The Rock fit into all of this? But we still got to get to Bad Blood. We still got to get to Crown Jewel. We still got to get to Survivor Series War Games. We still got a lot of year left, y'all. We still got a lot. And I'm all for it. But SmackDown was good. The comeback to USA, they did it right. I could go without some of these storylines again. The women's stories on SmackDown are not good right now. They just aren't. As much as I love Nia, she hasn't been a great champion. It's only been a month in, but it still hasn't been a good reign. Maybe, again, they're biding time for Tiffy to cash in. But she needs opponents. Let's move on to Monday Night Raw, which 3 hours again. Since Triple H has taken over, I have found myself not falling asleep on the third hour. I've been up and looking up and being like, oh, snap. It's 10 o'clock hour, and I'm wide awake. But CM Punk opened with a great promo. This version of CM Punk is the version of CM Punk that we have been missing for so long. I love this version of CM Punk. That promo he cut, I can't wait for that, for Bad Blood in the Hell in the Cell match. Braun Breaker and Jey Uso is announced the Intercontinental Championship for next Monday on Raw, which I'm okay with that. You want to put some title matches on Raw and SmackDown, and that's cool. If you're gonna put those, you're gonna put the mid-card titles not on the pay-per-views. At least let the guys defend them, and you're gonna let Braun Breaker defend against Jey Uso. I like the back and forth. I like the promo with those two guys. Braun is the future. He's the future. Jey Uso is one of the most popular, if not the most popular guy on the roster right now. As far as Raw is concerned, Jey is the man up there. He's the man over there. Jey versus Gunther for the title at some point. Let's see. The Judgment Day hang on to the tag titles, and the New Day looks to be breaking up. Those cracks they're not just cracks, like these are the wedge between those two. Goodness. And it makes me think, what are they gonna do here? Here's me not booking the territory again. Woods is upset with Kofi. They did say Big E's name last night. I'm not saying Big E's coming back to the ring, but Big E does, I think he does at least have to make an appearance to try to mediate this thing to keep these guys together. Because the 10-year, those guys have been together going on 10 years. The 10-year New Day anniversary is fast approaching. If I'm not mistaken, it's either next week or the week after that or somewhere in these next coming weeks. So look for them to do something with that. Woods is pissed, as he should be, after I tell Damian Priest and Jey Uso, yo, I got this. Stay away. We trying to win these titles. We don't need no help. I know you guys got y'all issues with the Judgment Day, but we got this. Let us do this. Only for Kofi to go to the LWO and say, hey, let's even these numbers up. How do you not tell your partner that? So that is on Kofi. So Woods does have a case to be mad about it. And Kofi's not beating the allegations. You got to communicate with your partner. He's like, we don't have this anymore, and it's just me and you with no Big E. And yes, they are weaker without Big E, which is true. So Kofi does have a point as well. But you still have to communicate with your partner. So I think this thing ends with those two going at it. Woods is going to turn. Whether Big E shows up or not, he's going to turn. And we'll get Kofi versus Woods, Crown Jewel, Survivor Series, something like that. There's another story that's been brewing. It kind of got derailed by the whole Odyssey Jones thing, which is unfortunate. Moving on. Let me talk about these backstage segments with the Terror Twins and Jey Uso. Do y'all see the way Rhea Ripley's looking at Jey Uso? It's actually kind of funny. I get a kick out of it. I think it's the funniest thing in the world. I think it's absolutely hilarious because she's smitten, and you can look at her and tell she is smitten. And that makes me wonder, I don't think they'll turn Priest again, but Priest could get upset and be like, hey, no, they just turn Priest. They're going to let Priest get a run at a babyface. But just thinking about that, like, hey, Priest turned. He could get jealous. And those two can maybe go their separate ways, and she's running after Jey Uso. I do like that, though. She is smitten. It's cute to see her with her hard-ass exterior and she's such a badass. And here comes smooth-ass, cool-ass Samoan. And she's just smitten. She look like a little schoolgirl. I think it's the cutest thing in the world. We'll see where that one goes. Braun Strowman and Big Bronson Reed. Listen, as far as I'm concerned, these two can beat the crap out of each other and tear up walls and break stuff every week. If they're going to do it the way they did it last night and the way that they did it when they fought outside and Bronson jumped off of the wall onto the car. You tear the ring up. You beat the crap out of each other. Braun Strowman goes to make his round, to do his lap. And what does Bronson Reed do? He takes another fully grown human being and throws him at Braun Strowman. If that's not one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. Like, y'all throwing grown men at each other. And then Braun Strowman proceeds to throw security guards at Bronson Reed. He dives on him. He throws him onto a packing locker. And Bronson jumps off of the locker onto Braun Strowman. Like, these dudes is 385 pounds apiece. And they beating the crap out of each other. And here comes Adam Pearce with his passive-aggressive self. After everything has happened, of course. What a moment. That was one of my favorite moments of the night with those two. Let them do this every week until y'all know what's coming. Suplex off the top rope, ring break. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. It's happening. They've broken everything. I mean, they broke the ring rope, but the ring didn't collapse. They've broken tables. They've broken barricades. They've broken walls. They've broken golf carts. They tore up the roof of cars. Only thing left to do is to suplex somebody off the top of the ring and let the ring collapse. Then you got Sami Zayn, his strong promo, calling out Gunther again. Here comes Ludwig Kaiser. Gunther's, I'm not even going to call him a flunky because Ludwig Kaiser could be all right on his own. He is a damn good wrestler, that Ludwig Kaiser. He has the size, he has the look, he has the moves. So I think he'll be good on his own. Expect Sami Zayn to go against Ludwig Kaiser at some point before Bad Blood and make that Gunther versus Sami match for the championship official. Maybe that happens next week. Maybe they've announced it and I haven't seen it yet. Just look for that. I'm here for that. But Sami has a point. I beat you. I'm one of the few that has beaten you since you've been here. I can't leave out Sheamus versus Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne is one of my favorites to watch. And Sheamus has always been good. Sheamus is so good, man. Future Hall of Famer. Sheamus can get in there with anybody. And the matches are good. The matches are fantastic with Sheamus. We've seen his matches with Gunther. War Games. His match here with Pete Dunne. He puts on good matches. He's that veteran guy. He is a future Hall of Famer. He's that guy. And Pete Dunne, oh my goodness, man. Pete Dunne needs to have a serious run at something. He needs to hold an Intercontinental Championship or something. I think his time in NXT, I think he's too good to be back down in NXT. He may get more shine there, but I think he's too good for a lot of those guys in NXT because NXT is kind of sort of more of developmental. And when the guys get good enough, then they bring them up. They're not just calling these guys. So Pete, get him a run with the IC title at some point, not now, because Jey Uso needs to hold that title now. Bianca and Io was the match of the night. It was the match of the weekend. What a match between these two former women's champions. What a match. Io got the roll-up win. And I know why they did it. That's to make Damage Control legit threats to the women's tag titles. And again, the championships, I'll get to it. But that is what that is. Speaking of the women, the Pure Fusion Collective, Zoe Stark shouldn't have lost. I love Natty. I'm a huge fan of Natty. She is a part of the second greatest wrestling family ever outside of the Samoans. It's like the Samoans, the Anoa'i, Fatu, Maivia, Tree. Then you got the Hearts. I probably put the Von Erichs and the Rhodes in there and the Flairs up there. I might be leaving somebody out. If I'm leaving somebody out, put it in the comments. The main event, Dom versus Damian Priest, ended in chaos. Damian Priest is good. Dominic Mysterio is so good, y'all. I can say that every week. He's going to be a future world champion. Book it. He does great things in the ring. People hate him, but that kid is good. It's in his bloodline. His daddy is Rey Mysterio, y'all. One of the greatest of all time, the greatest luchador of all time, the greatest masked wrestler of all time. But it ended in chaos. Judgment Day, of course, come out with the jump, and here comes Jay to come down and help to get boom speared by Bron Breakker. I like how they intertwine all of this stuff. All of this stuff is connected. The storylines are connected, intertwined. Guys are directly or indirectly connected in something, and that Bron doing that makes him look stronger going into that match next week. But overall, a good Monday Night Raw. I'm expecting these Monday Night Raws, especially these final ones, and then when they go to 2 hours in October, I'm expecting all of these Monday Night Raws to go crazy. Just because it's going to be 2 hours, it's not going to be a lot of time to fill, so a lot of these storylines are going to get more, And the first one is going to be the one after Bad Blood. Looking at the card for Bad Blood, now we have 4 matches. We got CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre in Hell in a Cell. Drew McIntyre, conspicuous by his absence last night. Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan for the Women's World Championship. And Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. There should be one more match, and it'll probably be Nia Jax versus Naomi or Bayley. I don't think they'll put the LA Knight Andrade match there. That's the title picture, man. Looking at the title picture, of course, Cody is locked in for Bad Blood. It's a home game for him. He's from Atlanta. He's locked in the match. The Women's World Championship is on the line. The WWE Women's Championship may or may not be on the line. I've said it. Nia needs challengers. The tag team belts are they're like a prop. Well, Judgment Day, they're winning, so they look like something. They need challengers, though. Who's challenging them on Raw? The New Day's getting ready to break up. Awesome Truth, the former champions, R-Truth is out. They don't have any opponents. Who's going to step up? Who's missing? Where are the tag teams? On SmackDown, the Tongans have the titles. Street Profits had their shot. The Creed brothers, but they're heels. You won't put heel versus heel. You won't put the Creed brothers up against JD and Finn. Finn is locked in the match for Bad Blood anyway. The United States Championship is in good standing with LA Knight. He's gonna be a damn good champion. As long as he holds it. Him and Andrade should be a good match. And Bron Breakker as the Intercontinental Champion. He looks good. Will they let him hold that title for a while? Or will they give Jade a shot? We'll see. I'm trying to think of what else I got here before I get to that big announcement. I think that's really it. Yeah. So they made the announcement this morning or this afternoon, the return of Saturday night's main event. Now, I named this show specifically after Saturday night's main event. Saturday night's main event, those of y'all who remember, those of y'all who grew up in the 80s, it was prime time on NBC during the golden era. And it was usually a Hulk Hogan showdown against somebody. Some of my favorite Saturday night main event memories, the Mega Powers Explode was one. I can recall the match where Hulk Hogan was going against Bad News Brown, and Bad News Brown went to the back and came out with, I don't know if it was a shovel or like some aluminum sidings or something he came out with. I think the Mega Powers became the Mega Powers on Saturday night's main event. What else happened on Saturday night's main event? A lot of stuff, like the Hogan Warrior build took place on Saturday night's main event. They used to do it like 3 or 4 times a year, and it was Saturday. It was on Hogan Andre with the switcheroo with the referees. That was the main event. That wasn't Saturday night's main event. That was the main event. But still, same along those same lines. But they used to do them like 3 or 4 times a year. It was in prime time on Saturdays. I think it was before Saturday Night Live, like in prime time. And this is exactly what they're doing on December the 14th on NBC. This is right smack dab in the middle of football season, y'all. Basketball will be getting started in a month or so in. And here comes the WWE. Like boxing will be going on. There's probably some good fights happening. UFC has their showdown with Stipe and John Jones, which I'm absolutely torn. I might do a watch along or a fight party with that one. Let me get with my guys. Congo, Momo. Let's get it, y'all. Let's do a little something for that. That's a big one. That's the big one right there. But yes, and it's gonna take place at the Nassau Coliseum, home of the very first Saturday night's main event. I am looking forward to that. I really am. I cannot wait for that, man. So again, man, we getting ready for Bad Blood. These storylines going into Bad Blood and leading up to Bad Blood, they're gonna take us into, I believe, Crown Jewel is happening at some point, and the Survivor Series is in November. So WWE, it's only September the 17th, y'all. We still got 3 months, 12, 14 weeks of great content to go between Raw and SmackDown, and before Raw makes the big move to Netflix. NXT will be making their big move in 2 weeks. 3 weeks. I'm sorry. So get ready for that. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode. Y'all know how we do here, man. We here for a good time, not a long time. We going 35 to 40 minutes. I'm just shy of the 40-minute mark here today. Make sure you guys continue to tune in. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. I'm working on some top 10 lists. I'm working on some a couple of things. I will be posting those frequently on Facebook, on Spotify, on and on YouTube. But make sure y'all like and subscribe and share the shows out. Ladies and gentlemen, for me, I'm Don P. I will see you guys Tuesday night's main event next week. Deuces.